Well, as the sun sets early and cold temperatures keep people indoors, many may find themselves struggling with seasonal depression. So many folks certainly can relate to this. It's a type of depression that usually occurs during the fall and winter months. Symptoms may include increased fatigue and weight gain. Fortunately, experts say that there are a number of strategies to combat these feelings, including increasing exposure to light and socializing with others. For more on how to beat the winter blues, we're going to bring in Nora Tobin this morning. She's a certified integrative health coach, executive performance coach, and CEO of Nora's Naturals. Nora, thank you so much for being with us. And obviously, this is something so many people can relate to. Tell us more about why the lack of exposure to natural light, it sounds so simple, in the winter affects our moods and how we can counteract that.
Absolutely. Well, good morning, and thank you so much for having me. Our moods are quite affected by our circadian rhythm. So our circadian rhythm is our body's 24-hour clock, and it regulates different neurotransmitters to the brain, as well as hormones such as serotonin, that feel-good hormone, as well as melatonin, which actually gives us that sleepy effect. And it can dysregulate or create an imbalance in our cortisol, which is our stress hormone. So we could feel a little bit more tired and wired at this time of year. We can certainly feel that lack of boosted mood, and it can really affect our sleep. So ways to combat this will be, number one, regulating light. So light plays a huge role in that circadian rhythm function. So first thing in the morning, we actually want to experience brighter light. So that could be hopefully sun, but at this time of year, it's hard to find that bright sun. So simply just turning up those screens, turning the light on those screens high up, getting that overhead light in your house or in the office, that's all really helpful to be admitted into the eyes and increase that production of serotonin. In the evening, we want to actually do the opposite. So in the evening, we want to lower the light on the screens, as well as try to turn off those lights that are overhead in the house.
And it's interesting, not a lot of light to be had right now these last few weeks, really, with all the storms coming in, but totally understand your point here. And Nora, people might overload their schedules to try to avoid those feelings of isolation that winter can bring on. But you're saying a busy schedule isn't always a good thing. What tips do you have in terms of just balancing all of this?
Certainly. Routine can be such a wonderful thing for not only our productivity, but also enhancing our mood. So one thing that actually has helped me, and I've shared this with my clients, it's been a great productivity tool as well as just a wonderful release for happiness, is first thing in the morning, take 2 minutes to write a few pages of really anything you want to release for the day. So whether that's something that happened the day before that doesn't really serve you anymore, intentions for the day, certainly goals can be helpful at this time, or simply just stating something you're grateful for. This can be a great way to set ourselves up for action versus reaction in the day. Active breaks. Go ahead. My apologies.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, speaking of action, right, like that's such a good segue here. So even when we know like movement or time with friends can really lift up our mood, it can be hard to actually physically get ourselves out of the door, especially, and here's the key, when it's cold out. So do you have any advice on how to motivate oneself to try to like take these steps? I know I can do it. I can go out there into the frosty tundra just to be able to get, the blood flowing.
Absolutely. Well, our physiology has a direct impact on our psychology and vice versa. So when we even just take 2 to 3 minutes of movement in the midst of our day, this can be at the office, on the subway, or certainly at home. But taking those 2 minutes of an intentional break, simply standing up and doing any kind of calisthenics or breath work, if you have the time, 20 minutes of interval training influences our EPOC, which is going to help regulate our metabolism and fat burning. But really, it's not more than 5 minutes that we need to influence our psychology.
That's so fascinating that it's only a few minutes, but that it goes a long way. Nora Tobin, thank you so much for some key tips this morning to deal with seasonal depression. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you. You too.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.